He used it to beat the out of 30 men at the same time with his own bare hands.
You know how many people today, you walk into a place, see a group of guys, go up to one of the guys, smack him in the head. The other boys go, hey bro, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Relax, we'll call the police. What do you mean relax? Everybody gets beat up, everybody gets knocked out, everybody's going to sleep. Once everybody's asleep, then I ask what happened. Everybody's going to sleep. I trained martial arts my whole life. I know how to fight very, very well. I've taken on not one, not two guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time and they couldn't take me out.
So do you guys know who this King Azoulay asshole is? This Shaolin monk loving kung fu master. Piece of shit. He's another asshole who says he's alpha. He went to prison. He gets out. He's a multi-millionaire by 24 years old. And now he's selling programs to people. He's even wearing that same white outfit that we see all these assholes wear. It's color coordinated. And it got me thinking, where did they get this idea? And it's gotta be from Puff Daddy. Remember, Puff Daddy had all these celebrity white parties where everyone goes and they dress all in white clothes because they think it's cool. It means it's pure, but it really means they're pieces of shit doing bad, naughty things. I mean, we already know how much these assholes love Puff Daddy, but did you really have to copy him?
Man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. Yeah. It's a movie.
These assholes love to lie to show how manly they are, how rich they are, right? In order to sell programs to people, right? But this asshole's on another level. If you took Steven Seagal and Frank Dukes from Bloodsport and combined them, it wouldn't even match the crazy shit that this asshole spits out of his mouth. But now, is all this shit this asshole's saying true about going to prison, getting out, becoming a multi-millionaire at 24 years old, a past life as an FBI agent, which I'm gonna show you, and then going to train with the Shaolin monks to become this cage fighter who's saying now that he beat the shit out of 30 men at the same time with his bare hands? Is all this shit true? Well, we're gonna take a look at that now.
I was first of all younger before I arrived to the US. I used to watch Bruce Lee all the time. We moved here, I didn't speak any fucking word in English. I didn't speak one word in English. What I did find was a Chinese restaurant right across the street. When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me and he said, "Kid is special." And I would come to him. He would move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. I was 10 years old, so I learned how to move with like Kung Fu, you know?
Yeah.
It was different and I loved it.
Everybody gets beat up, everybody gets knocked the fuck out, everybody's going to sleep. I've taken on not one, not two guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time and they couldn't take me out. So when I do coaching, it's like overall coaching, right? For example, in my opinion, when I work with somebody, I want him to be fit. You need to have a six-pack to work with me. And looking like this, you see this right here? You have to be a masochist in order to look like me. But I've realized as a king, I have to lead everybody. And I'm a humble king. But they call me the Batman. They say, you're fucking fit, you know how to fight, you know how to work with weapons, you have money, you live in a penthouse, you're building a $12 million home, you have real estate around the world, you have business, you're famous, you have a perfect wife. This is amazing.
So like I was saying, like all these assholes who have all these stories that they tell us about how they're real men, because in the end, what are they trying to do? They're trying to sell programs, mostly probably to young adults, to try to teach them how to be real men. So they always have these stories. So he starts off by telling us a story of when he was a kid. He was very young. He came to America and he went to eat at this Chinese food restaurant. And inside, there was this owner who apparently is a kung fu master. And he saw him, he thought he was really special, and he loved him. So he wanted to teach him everything, like Mr. Miyagi.
Do you know that the Shaolin monks don't ever in their life?
How did you even get connected with them?
When I was first of all younger, before I arrived to the US, I used to watch Bruce Lee all the time. We moved here, I didn't speak any fucking word in English. I didn't speak one word in English. What I did find was a Chinese restaurant right across the street. When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me and he said, that kid is special. I would come to him. He would move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. I was 10 years old, so I learned how to move with like Kung Fu,
Yeah.
It was different and I loved it. And that inspired me because I said, I'm gonna be like Bruce Lee.
But that got me thinking. When he was telling that story, I was like, you know how he said the Chinese man, the old Mr. Miyagi man, how he loved them so much and thought he was special? I was thinking deeply and I was like, you know what? I don't want to think about why he loved him so much. And then after the Chinese man, after he was done loving him, he said he wanted to go to the Shaolin monks to learn from them because he thought, maybe they can love him even more than the Chinese man and teach him a lot of new things.
And from there, when I got older, I said, I really want to go and train with the Shaolin monks. First of all, they don't accept you. Today they do, by the way. You get paid to go there.
How did you get in?
You have to wait outside of the temple. When they let you in, they teach you things that are unbelievable.
And for that reason, I've created a Telegram channel.
So now, you know what he said he learned from the Shaolin monks to make him superhuman? He said they taught him to take his head and bang it into the wall many, many times because it makes it tougher and he could withstand a lot of punishment. So you know what he did? He used it on his father.
Now I was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went to hit me over the head. And I did this and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the leg, picked him up and threw him on the coffee table. Coffee table broke in half. That's the beauty that we are actually superhuman. There is something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you cause with hitting the bone thickens the bone. I used to sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't fuck up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. When we hurt, and I learned that at a young age. That's what I learned from the Shaolin monks. Go watch them when they spar, when they battle, or when they have a fight. Boom, they turn their head. Wherever you're hitting, they just turn their head. You punch their head, you're breaking your hand.
And I was watching Moist Critical because that's how I really found out about this guy. And I think he figured out how this asshole came up with this whole story about the Shaolin monk and hitting the head.
Also, equally likely is he's just straight up lying, just actually talking out of his fucking butthole. But I think there's a chance he saw that video of the Shaolin monk in the boxing ring where he was getting hit in the head a lot because he was literally taunting the guy. And he's like, oh, that's how Shaolin monks fight. Must be those microfractions I've heard so much about. They must train with that. So now he's spouting it off here on the podcast.
But I thought another thing about how this asshole probably learned it. Do you guys remember one of my favorite movies growing up, Kickboxer? And there was Tung Po with that ponytail flopping around, and he was kicking down, or trying to kick down this column of cement with his shins, right? And then Van Damme saw him, he got jealous, and he went to the woods up in the mountains and found an old man, right, Zien, with his Sharmuta daughter. And he had him teach him how to kick down the banana trees to toughen up his shins, right, so he can beat the shit out of Tung Po. Well, I think that's where this asshole also learned this shit from. Now, this is the biggest one. It's got to be, the biggest story I've ever heard anyone try to claim. He's saying, right, that all this shit he learned, Kung Fu mastering and the Shaolin monk ways, right, he used it to beat the shit out of 30 men at the same time with his own bare hands.
You know how many people today, you walk into a place See a group of guys, go up to one of the guys, smack him in the head. The other boys go, hey, bro, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Relax. We'll call the police. What do you mean relax? Everybody gets beat up. Everybody gets knocked the fuck out. Everybody's going to sleep. Once everybody's asleep, then I ask what happened. Everybody's going to sleep. I trained martial arts my whole life. I know how to fight very, very well. I've taken on not one, not two guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time and they couldn't take me out.
You fought 30 guys?
30 guys at the same time. They got to the point that they said, okay, fuck you, you motherfucker. We're done with you. You don't want to stop. I have this switch. You better kill me. It's almost like I took PCP.
Now, you know where I think he got this one? Because we know how much he loves watching movies, right? You remember Return of the Dragon with Bruce Lee? You know, he was in a Chinese restaurant. We know how much this guy loves the Chinese restaurant, so he takes all these stories and puts them all together. Well, anyway, there were these bullies that used to bully the owner of the Chinese restaurant, and Bruce Lee went outside behind the restaurant and beat up each bully one by one, all by himself. So now this asshole thinks he's Bruce Lee too. So now let me read you his bio. Who is Ben King Azoulay? I like it how he calls himself king. He's the king of what? King of being a fucking asshole? Ben retired at the age of 24. Must be nice, retiring, 24 years old. After selling patents for $150 million. How at 24 years old did you even have time to fucking make $150 million? Doesn't make sense. Since then, he's invested in hundreds of businesses as a venture capitalist and took an active role in 16 businesses that have generated over $500 million in sales. Yeah, it's crazy. He needs to sell programs though still. Why are you selling programs if you got this much money, asshole? He won multiple medals. Oh, look at this. He won multiple medals in bodybuilding competitions. I don't see that nowhere. And then has competed in many cage fights around the world. Well, the Shaolin monks taught you to fight in the cage, you asshole. I don't see your record anywhere. But I noticed something that was missing in his bio. He's saying he was in the counterterrorism unit at the FBI.
But in order for me to get onto social media, I had to retire from what I was doing. I was in a unit for counterterrorism for about a decade. And that is why I know the things that I know. That is why I also said, if they kill me, it's fine. But the shit I've done in my life is so people at home can live the American dream.
There you go. So as we've seen, you know, with all of these fake alpha men influencers, right? They have one thing in common. They all have these bullshit, larger than life stories, right? About themselves, about their past, about what they own, of who they are, right? But in the end, it's all either really exaggerated or it's bullshit. And the reason why is because they need to find a way to bring attention on themselves online by saying crazy shit, by doing crazy shit, in order to get people interested to buy their programs. But that brings me to this, and I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying. If you think about this, right? These people are saying they're multi-millionaires, some of them close to billionaires. They make millions of dollars a month, right? If all of this was true, why would they need to sell people programs? If you have all the money in the world, you don't need any more, and you'd be helping people for free. So stop giving these people your money, because that's what's going to get them rich. And in the end, all they're doing is selling you is lies of hopes and dreams.
You know what I'd love to see?
What?
You and Tate in the ring.
I'd love to.
Octagon or ring.
I'd love to.
Yeah?
I would love to.
Maybe we could set it up.
I would break his head in half. I'm not kidding.
Is there anything?
He's a trained fighter. I'm a trained killer. Two different things. I'd break his head in half.
Is there a message you'd like to send to Andrew Tate before we call it a show?
Soon. Sure. Come on over to the US. Set up a fight. However you want.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like on my video.